Welcome. I enrolled at EIU in the fall of 2000. Now, this was a time before our phones were smart. It was a time when students waited hours to pick up their textbooks. And it was a time before the majority of our classrooms here at EIU were equipped with computers and media projectors. Now, I'll spare you the story of my first semester here, but needless to say, I was readmitted in the spring of 2011. It wasn't long before I realized that something major had happened here at EIU, and that is, across our campus, technology seemed to be everywhere. Not only had the phones become smart, but so too had our chalkboards, and the term blackboard, well, it took on a whole new meaning. After the first semester that I was back, I was fortunate enough to be hired as a student worker at the Center for Academic Technology Support, and I now hold a graduate assistantship there. Now, during this time, I've come to appreciate and understand the complexity of our institution, but I also now recognize one very important fact, and that is, general investments in technology alone provide neither a competitive nor strategic distinction among our peer institutions. Instead, technology investment coupled with innovative use and application of various technological resources is what will set us apart. And this is why we're here today, to highlight the accomplishments in the use of academic technology and its applications, and to celebrate those individuals who have demonstrated excellence in the use of instructional technology. Now, over the past year, the CATS department has accomplished and worked on a great deal of projects here across our campus. For example, our multimedia services area has collaborated on two important projects with various constituencies from across our campus that focuses on integrative learning. The first project is what we'll call expedition trips. And this is whereby students from our CATS team, as well as Cameron Craig from geology students, and geology and geography majors travel to various locations across the U.S. and document a variety of topics and human responses. A recent project that was worked on is called Expedition Endurance, and this is where a team went to the Southwest United States to document the water shortage and the human element involved. This documentary will be aired later on WEIU this semester. The second project for the multimedia team is working on is funded by a $131,000 grant from the Illinois Principals Association. I'd like to recognize two individuals from the IPA who are here with us today. Vicki DeWitt, the online professional development content specialist with the IPA, and Arlen Peebles, the online professional development director, for making this project possible. If you'll please stand. For this project, graduate students and student workers are tasked with developing a series of 12 videos for the Illinois Principals Association on model math and English language arts for the new core curriculum. Our team has been traveling to various K-12 schools across Illinois, filming and conducting interviews to gather footage. This is then processed down to 10-minute videos, which are used for promotional materials for the IPA. This project was taken on primarily because it's a great way to incorporate applied learning opportunities for students who want to work on real-time media projects and combine their experience with media production. Our hope is that we're able to do more projects like this in the future. I'd now like to show you one promotional video from this project.
Hi, my name is Jean Corder. I'm the Director of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment at Urbana School District 116 in Urbana, Illinois. The Illinois State Board of Education has collaborated with the Illinois Principals Association and Ed Leaders Network to create the Illinois Classroom Voices video series. In this series, you will get an up-close look at some of our model Illinois classrooms, where teachers are putting the new Illinois learning standards into practice. The teachers selected for each video exhibit best practices when working with the new standards and come from diverse backgrounds, working with diverse populations of students in districts of various sizes all across the state. The videos are approximately 10 minutes in length and are intended for professional development purposes to support teachers in their implementation of the new Illinois learning standards. In addition to seeing the teacher conduct the classroom lesson, the videos will also contain pre- and post-lesson interviews to provide insight into the lesson planning and lesson reflections. When available, you will also hear from other stakeholders, such as students, parents, and administrators in regards to how these standards are changing the way students envision learning. The subject areas highlighted in this series are English language arts and mathematics at multiple grade levels. In these exemplary classrooms, you will notice one or more of the key shifts that the new Illinois Learning Standards bring to classroom pedagogy. You will see English language arts students making these shifts by engaging with complex text, extracting and employing evidence, and building knowledge. In the mathematics classrooms, you will see a shift in focusing on fewer topics, linking of topics across grade levels, and a balance of conceptual understanding, procedural skill and fluency, and application. Along with these shifts in focus, coherence, and rigor, you will see teachers incorporating the 8 mathematics practice standards, which are global expectations at every grade level. The instruction you will view in this series is supported by resources provided by the Illinois State Board of Education and is fully aligned to the new Illinois Learning Standards and the PARCC assessment system that will be used to measure progress toward meeting these standards. The videos from this series will be made available in the spring of 2015 on the Illinois State Board of Education website and Ed Leaders Network. For additional resources and information on the new Illinois Learning Standards, go to isb.net. Through this project, you can add your voice to improve the future for the students of Illinois.
In addition to our multimedia services team, our staff at the Gregg Technology Center have been working a great deal to upgrade our computers across our campus. We're currently working on solid-state technology upgrades in order to extend the life of current computers in our various areas. Additionally, we've implemented a new checkout system at the GTC, worked on an image standardization process for all Windows machines in our technology-enhanced classrooms. We've expanded phone coverage at the GTC to assist the Center for Online Learning in answering late-night D2L questions, and we have created, tested, and implemented a scripted updating procedure for Windows computers in the College of Education and Professional Studies, and an automated system for updating Apple computers across EIU. These updates will provide improved security, decreased tech support, and less technician workload. Another important area that deserves our attention is EIU's attention on online learning. In 2012, the Online Learning Committee recommended that EIU expand its online learning, and develop a resource center for online instruction. In 2014, taking this advice, Julie Lockett, Director of Instructional Technology, developed the Center for Online Learning housed in the Center for Academic Technology Support. The mission for the Center for Online Learning is to provide training, support, and services from faculty teaching and students taking online or technology-enhanced courses here at EIU. Moreover, implementing the Center for Online Learning represents a cost savings to the university, as we're able to repurpose existing staff positions, reduce overhead costs, and hire a new instructional design specialist whose primary job is to work one-on-one with faculty as they begin redesigning existing online courses and designing new ones. Another important area for our campus is our web office. EIU's web team is a tremendous resource for our campus, as they are responsible for EIU's virtual presence and the development of web applications. Their skill and talent have garnered EIU a great deal of recognition among university web development teams, as their virtual presence rivals larger institutions such as Harvard, Northwestern, the University of Illinois, and Auburn. From videography to customer relation management platforms, the web office is consistently recognized for their outstanding content and development. I now have a brief video to show you of some of the content the web office has created over the past year. I think what this video nicely demonstrates is the ways in which we use technology to capture what's beautiful about our campus. That's our faculty, our staff, and our student bodies. In addition to our constant development and trying to make our campus a better place through technology, CATS also engages in a variety of research activities. Last year we collaborated with EDUCAUSE to conduct a study for our campus on our undergraduate students and our faculty. In 2014, we had 1,101 undergraduates and 150 faculty participants. Our findings from the faculty participants report that over 80% of the faculty who participated are interested in holistic early alert systems. This is whereby we gather all available student data through our various systems to understand the ways in which students react to course materials and complete learning objectives. Additionally, our students indicated that they want a uniform approach to technology that is consistent across our campus. Now, a great example of this is utilizing D2L, where if you take different courses, content in D2L may be located in different places. Instead, students indicate that they wish that the materials would be consistently located in the same place for all of their courses. This research will continue into 2015, and the same study will be conducted of our undergraduate and faculty members at the end of next month. Additionally, it's our plan to expand this study into high schools so we can really learn how the ways in which high school students are experiencing technology and as they matriculate into college. The results for these studies have been disseminated both at the state, regional, and at national conferences. So it represents a great opportunity for exposure for CATS and at EIU. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. William Perry, President of Eastern Illinois University. I guess that's your only title, right?
Right. Well, thank you, Clinton, and it's my pleasure to be here today to offer a few remarks. We have a vision, Eastern Illinois University, we have a vision to be a premier comprehensive university. That means a lot of things, but one of the things it means is what we're celebrating here today. The nominees who are in the program, the work that they've done, and the focus of it. And I'm so pleased to see an array of disciplines involved, the humanities and the sciences, technology. It's just a wonderful example of the way that we're using technology to provide superior education and to reach out, to remove barriers of time and distance so that we can bring the excellence of our experience to many, many people. Now, I have to admit that as I was reading the materials on the chair, there were a lot of words I didn't know. So this is what happens when you're an administrator too long. Well, I understand augmented reality. It's augmented every year about this time when the legislature goes into session. But I didn't know what a QR code was, but I'm not sure I don't even know how to pronounce Orsama. And then on this page, Microsoft Surface Pro 3, Camtasia Studio, InDesign, Audacity. Now, Dreamweaver is a song I remember from the mid-'70s. But Weebly, I'm not sure what that is. WordPress, I do remember Twitter. But what's really amazing to me is how much technology there is and how the faculty and staff are weaving it in to the student experience here. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And so when we think about our vision of being a comprehensive, premier comprehensive university, I would submit that we're already there as a public university. As a public comprehensive, I would say regionally, we are premier. Our job now as a university moving forward, and that means it's all our job, faculty and staff together, to remove the word regional from that. And that, again, that means a lot of things. But I think we have the opportunity over the next decade to make great strides in that direction. And I'm confident that we can achieve that because we do have great people. As Clinton was talking about, the faculty and staff and students here, the great people we have at Eastern, their drive, their motivation, their intellect, their energy, all of those characteristics of your colleagues and my colleagues are going to make the difference over the next decade as we continue to move the university forward. And then underlying all that, and this is really the key, is a spirit of innovation, a growing spirit of innovation that's occurring at Eastern Illinois University. And so that brings me back to the nominees today, whom I congratulate for bringing a great spirit of innovation and intellectual vitality to their work, and so that they have risen to the top, so to speak, in terms of being nominated for this award. So I want to thank CATS and CATS for all their great work. I remember when I got here how much had already been accomplished by CATS and how much more has been accomplished in the time I've been here. And it's really a great system of support, because if you have support, I was talking with Bob Augustine on the way over here today, if you have support, if you feel supported, you can move mountains. You can do just about anything. And so I want to thank CATS for their support for all the individuals in the university, and in particular for the nominees today. Thanks to everyone for being here today. I'm pleased to be here and looking forward to see which of the nominees receives the award. Thank you very much.
Admittedly, I remember the remix of Dreamweaver, but I wasn't alive in the 70s when it came out, so. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Blair Lord.
Well, I too want to welcome and offer my congratulations to both the people we're going to recognize today, as well as everyone else in the room that makes Eastern the premier comprehensive that the President just described. I'm not sure, Mr. President, that I would use the word augmented and state legislature in the same sentence. That does not appear to be what they're about these days. Each year at this event, I sort of reflect where we came from. I've been here 13 plus years now, and things were very different than they are now. We have made enormous strides as an institution in a whole host of ways, but certainly in our engagement of technology for the benefit of our students and student learning. For crying out loud, when I got here, academic computing was in the hands of, where'd he go? Bob Augustine. Yeah, oh my gosh. Now, thank you, Bob, for getting us started, but we have come a long way. I also reflect on my own technological savvy, and last year I held up a prop which belongs in a museum. This is a dumb phone to go with the dumb administrator, and I still have it and I still use it, so I am the least technology savvy person here in the room. We have moved nicely over the past decade and a half in engaging technology for the benefit of our students. The creative faculty that have found ways to engage it in manners that I could not possibly have imagined, assisted by the helpful staff, creative staff in CATS, certainly supported by ITS as well. Have my enormous appreciation and gratitude, and I do look forward to seeing the latest creative ways that it's engaged. You know, the ground keeps moving. I think back 13 years. If I try to imagine ahead 13 years, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. The ground keeps moving, we have moved with it, and we're going to have to keep moving, and we're going to depend on the creativity of all of you in this room, faculty and support staff, to do that, to remain the premier comprehensive, not regional university in the United States. Thank you to all. Clinton?
In 13 years, God help me if I'm still a student here. No offense to the university, but I've been here for 14 years, I guess, so to speak, and I hope not to be in 13 years. Maybe as a faculty member or something, but time will tell. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Gabe Grant, last year's 2013 award recipient. Mr. Grant, who received the Michael R. Hoadley Excellence in the Use of Instructional Technology Award for his innovative technology method called Augmented Reality. In short, augmented reality encodes video media into an image that can be scanned, and that's about all I know of it because I haven't scanned the QR code, so I'll have to get to that. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gabe Grant.
Is this thing on? Hello? Oh, give me a second here. I just have to hook up my computer. I don't like to be tethered. I like to walk around the room whenever I present. So thank you all for being here today. It's a pleasure to be recognized for one of the technologies that I think is really kind of cutting edge. And I'll tell you another thing too, the students really get a kick out of it. And I'm glad that CATS is actually supporting what I do in the classroom with the students and trying to help them gain a competitive edge in the marketplace. So I am a print guy. I started out with a graphic communications degree right here from good old EIU and worked with some of the biggest companies in the world. So print is in my blood, but I realize that our world has changed. And some people believe that this is the reality. My good friend Spangler will elaborate on this.
Very handy, I can tell. I bet you like to read a lot, too.
Print is dead.
Oh, that's very fascinating to me. I read a lot myself. Some people think I'm too intellectual, but I think it's a fabulous way to spend your spare time. I also play racquetball. Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Now, I don't have anything to do with spores, mold, and fungus, but what I do have something to do is with print, right? And that concept that print is dead, it's no longer relevant, it's no longer useful, I am actually here to protest, right? Protest. Not only did I protest by printing out my entire portfolio and sending it up to Dr. Azadi for his review, but also I decided that I was going to share some information with you about the entire printing industry. It's a $640 billion industry. So $640 billion. You compare that to some of the other industries like the auto industry, which it's not really clear up here. Auto industry is only $432 billion. Okay, so it's substantially bigger. But I also realize the world that we live in the fact that a lot of people may not be using print as much as they typically do. What they usually use are these smartphones, with the exception of Provost Lord. He does not use smartphones, he uses dumb phones, right? But if you look at the percentages of the population who actually use smartphone technology, that's a big, big amount of people, 85% from 18 to 24, and this is right here in the United States. These are pretty recent statistics. Overall, total 18 plus, 71% of people in the United States actually have access to a smartphone. That's a huge audience and a huge population that we need to pay attention to. So me being a print guy and then also a guy who likes to dabble in web and multimedia, I am looking at the newest trends and the newest things that are coming about all the time. So whenever I came here, back here in the summer of 2013 from a graphic communication educators conference, one of the big things that they wanted to show off was this idea of cross-media marketing. That is, whenever you are doing cross-media marketing, you are using a variety of different platforms to try to grasp your audience and get a hold of your audience's attention. So there are things that they talk about like using mobile marketing, email marketing, social media, and then QR codes and analytics. And one of the big ones that they talked about was augmented reality. So I thought to myself, I'm like, how can I put this all together into a package or a project that makes sense for students? And the thing that seemed to make sense was to put together a multi-channel marketing campaign project where the students build a website, large graphics, and a direct mail piece. And of course, the website that they build is a responsive design website. It's got a bunch of these new features that are really hot and in demand if you were to go out and look for these types of jobs. Then of course, the direct mail piece and the large graphics are print-based. And you'll see the really cool thing that you can do with these print-based media. Of course, the QR codes are incorporated, shortened URLs, variable data printing. But the really big part is down here at the bottom. NFC tags and augmented reality applications. And I'll show you an example here. This is a student example of a student website that was put together. And this is from left to right. This is desktop version, tablet version, and then mobile phone version. And then, of course, this is their large graphic where it's got a QR code and an NFC tag incorporated. But the big piece that they incorporated was the augmented reality application in this piece of direct mail. You'll notice that the piece of direct mail is personalized. It's got this individual's name, which students had to put together a survey to collect information. And then on the back side of it, this student decided that they wanted to incorporate a video to grasp their attention and make this stand out from everybody else's application. So using a technology called Aurasma, they created an augmented reality application that whenever it's scanned with a mobile phone, plays this video. So augmented reality is a technology, and what it does is it overlays digital elements over the physical world. It's something that has been used quite regularly, actually, in the past 20 years. If you think about Sunday football, you see those lines that are across the screen that are yellow that tell you where the first down markers are, and now they put advertisements all over the screen. That's augmented reality technology, okay? So how this whole process works is that the students have to create the multimedia, and it can be something like video, three-dimensional objects, web pages, and buttons. And then they use static images, which they print out on a piece of paper, which if you look in your seats, you'll notice that I've got a static trigger image put together for you. Everybody except the back row can share. The back row, there's only one, so I guess all of you could share in the back row this example. But that static image is printed, and it's set as the trigger image. So it is the image that whenever you scan with the Aurasma application, it goes and will retrieve the media that I have assigned to it. And then, of course, the multimedia is applied as an overlay to the static image. And then, of course, whenever the end user scans the images, they are able to engage in the media. The reason that this is becoming so popular among the 18 to 24 age group is simply because of the fact of, here's my smartphone that I can use, and here's a piece of mail that's printed to me. If I put these two together, what you're doing is you're taking that individual's world and then you're trying to bring them back into it, and it creates a much more engaging application. And I think I can break away from this to show you some other examples here, right? For those of you who don't have smartphones on you, here we go. I'll just switch here. There we go. Oop. Maybe I'll get back here. Here we go. So I'll open up the augmented reality application that I used to build an example for you called Aurasma. And then, of course, what we have here is a trigger image, which I put a couple of different examples here, one using 3D multimedia. Wasn't working earlier. Let's see if it'll work now. But I merely just used the augmented reality application. That's actually the trumpet fanfare that I walk into the classroom with, and the students applaud me. So I actually expect applause right now from that. Thank you, thank you. But you're also able to do other things with it as well, too. I ripped this video from the YouTube channel on EIU, and let's see if it will work for me. That's the problem with technology. Sometimes it won't work when you need it to.
What makes EIU different? It's not just my small classes taught by extraordinary faculty.
It's not just the 48 majors and 68 minors.
And we're having a little bit of a delay issue right here with the Wi-Fi.
It's not just how they strive to make my education of great value. What really makes EIU different is you.
But that's what our students are learning as they're going through this classroom. They're learning to create this engaging multimedia that's tied right back to a piece of printed material that is completely personalized for that individual. See if I can jump back in my presentation here now. There we go. There are technical limitations, and these limitations I'm hoping that John will listen to me and see what he can do to help me out to make this a better experience for the students overall. But the uniqueness of these trigger images, you have to find an image that you are going to put on your print materials that's completely unique, that is like nothing else that's out there, because the issue that you run into with these augmented reality applications is you can actually trigger somebody else's media if you use the same trigger image that they're using. I know Dr. Chinchilla is a master in image recognition technology, and he could talk more about this hopefully later on. We also run into issues with file size limitations, which we can't put media that's very long on there. Most of the time, a 15 to 20 second video is about all that we can put on there. And then, of course, our 3D objects can't be very detailed. And then, of course, we have issues with Wi-Fi capacity. You may have noticed as I was trying to run this through my iPad, we had delays in the sound. So hopefully we'll upgrade the Wi-Fi network in the future here, right? Right, John? Right. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. But you're probably thinking to yourself that you're using augmented reality in teaching cross-media marketing. Are there educational uses of this technology? Yes, there are. A great deal of work is actually done with visual spatialization. The 3D model object that I actually showed to you came from me from a textbook that for mechanical engineering principles, whenever students are trying to look at a 2D object on a page, they may not be able to visualize how that object looks at different orientations. So they can use an augmented reality application, get a 3D view right there on their phone, and look at the different angles and perspectives of it. A great study on that. And then in the sciences, physics, there are classes or actually studies being done where people are trying to teach students about magnetic field from simple magnets with even students as young as 6 or 7 years old. Fantastic. But in biology, geology, geography, these are all areas where it's used. And if you don't believe me, hello, here we go. You shouldn't have asked, because the one thing about a guy who's working on his PhD, he's probably got a literature review from some paper that he did maybe a year or two ago. So there's a ton of research in this area right now, and if you're thinking about integrating it into your classroom as an educational tool, there are resources out there that can help you with this. Of course, the support that I needed to be able to complete this project whenever I got back, I needed my big brother Pete. Where's Pete at? He's hiding back there in the back. I want to thank Pete for training and video editing assistance and teaching me what H.264 is, because I'm a print and web guy. I don't know anything about video. John Henderson is a phenomenal person for getting the Adobe site license for EIU. Back when I started as a student here, we were running OS 9 with Illustrator 10 and Adobe Photoshop 7, and that didn't change until probably 2007 or 2008. So it was always a struggle trying to get the newest technology in front of our students. And then, of course, Chad Elliott, I'd like to thank also, because anytime I needed help with software installation, imaging, or maintaining facilities, Chad was always there. So those three individuals were very supportive of me in this venture. And of course, a bigger thanks to the students of EIU, and of course, Rachel Doty and Kendra Gallion. Rachel and Kendra last fall were the ones who actually integrated this technology into the CATS Tech newsletter that they actually distributed. But even bigger, the students of EIU. It's the only reason why I banged myself over the head for 2.5 hours putting together a little demonstration sheet for my students, because they absolutely love it. I don't know the last time that you ever put anything in front of your students and said, here, try this out, play with this, make this, and they just stand back and say, that's so frickin' awesome, right? It's a great feeling to know that I've got the support from CATS to be able to put that kind of technology in front of my students. So I think that's my 10 minutes. Rhonda told me I only had 10 minutes, so. If you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, I've got plenty of them up here, and I'd be more than happy to show you this technology on a one-on-one basis. So thank you for your time.
So this year we have 5 outstanding nominees for the Michael R. Hoadley Excellence in the Use of Instructional Technology Award. This award was established to recognize a university faculty member who has demonstrated the innovative use of a new or emerging technology or an existing technology through pedagogical innovation and its impact on the teaching and learning process. The award is named for Dr. Michael R. Hoadley. That was just some sound effects. That was my augmented reality. The award was named for Dr. Michael R. Hoadley, the first administrator at the Center for Academic Technology Support. Dr. Hoadley was responsible for shaping the center's scope, mission, objectives, which in turn was instrumental in meeting the computing and instructional technology needs here at Eastern Illinois University. I ask that each nominee, as I read each of your names, I ask that each nominee stand and be recognized. Dr. Rigoberto Chinchilla from the School of Technology. Dr. Susan Gussie from Nursing. You can clap, it's fine. There you go. Dr. Hung Jung Hung from Chemistry. Dr. Malgorzata Rimja Palaska from History. And she did go to class, so we do have, I guess, you have to teach, that's important here. And Dr. John Storsved from Kinesiology and Sports Studies. Congratulations to each of the nominees. Now I'm going to have John come up here to present the award winner. All right, it's my pleasure to announce the 2014 winner of the Michael R. Hoadley Instructional Technology Award is Dr. Rigoberto Chinchilla from Technology.
Well, I want to thank several people for this. This was a long, long project. About 3 years ago, I was convinced, I wrongly convinced myself that it was not possible to access a real equipment in a lab. So it's not, no, it's pretty much what everyone, sometimes you repeat things. And then I recruit a student from Nigeria, and she was very bright and said, do you like to explore this idea? How about if we try to access real equipment for anywhere in the world? And she was very afraid, but I said, don't worry, just make a shot in your thesis to see if this is possible. So we went for a year researching. We interviewed different people in different universities. We went to prestigious universities like U of I. We didn't find they have anything like that. And sometimes we believe that because they don't have it, maybe we cannot have it. So I said, well, no, let's reject that idea. So let's keep working. And the first thing was, okay, the first thing we need is to involve ITS in this. After the thesis of Ojinda Mola Idowu was the theoretical background of the project. Then we need help from ITS. And members of ITS here, remember, we have several meetings. They were absolutely helpful and willing to participate in this project. So we call it originally the Router Project. I don't know why, but that was the name that we call it. And we met almost every month, trying to build infrastructure, the telecommunication infrastructure, to bring students from anywhere in the world to the lab. It was a hard work from them. And then once we have the project ready, or at least the solution, I have to go to my chair, which was Deborah Woodley, and says, you know what, I have this idea, but it costs us that much a month. We have to give this money. She wasn't happy, but I convinced her that it was worthy. And she said, okay, we'll do it. So we keep working on the idea. And then with the newer GAs that were working for me, we begin to build the whole structure to access the lab remotely. And then we needed some licenses, some special software, and then we went to CATS. Our new dean, Dr. Cheney went to John Henderson and said, we need this to make it work. John very willingly helped us with that. And so in summary, now if a student wants to take my course in telecommunication, make real labs, he can do it from India, from Brazil, from anywhere. And it's not just a simulator, but it really goes inside the real equipment. And this has been the basis for more ideas, like the cybersecurity master's program that we plan. And I think I have to thank ITS, CATS, and different people around, my students, for the enthusiasm and the willingness to try to do something new, something that seems not to be plausible at that time. And I think is a triumph of collaboration. That's the most important thing. Collaboration between academics, ITS, CATS, different people working together. That's something that I was very happy with. And I want to thank also our Chair Dr. Cheney, because he continued with the support of this idea, and also Dr. Isadi, that once the idea works out, we decided to invest a lot of money more in that lab, and now we're with new ideas, with new projects, and I think it is important now our students can access the lab 24/7 anywhere in the world, and the limitations of having someone there in the lab or restrict the students to come to one place for certain hours, they disappear. And I think I was talking before we started the program with John Henderson, says this is the advantage of this project is now we can replicate the same thing. We already have how to do it. So if someone else wants to access real equipment, we just have to replicate the same thing and do it. And I hope this is the first project we do of this nature in the university, and I hope we keep replicating in other departments too. And thank you for the award, and I'm very happy and motivates me to do more things. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our awards reception for today. Thank you for coming. The CATS office would like to thank the Office of the President for his continued support, as well as the Office of the Provost for the continued support that really does make a direct impact on students' lives. And as a student here for quite some time now, I can actually say that a great deal has changed, and I'm looking forward to seeing the changes in the future. Thank you.